So on the right, we have Is It Delver, Roland MTG. We saw Roland on stream earlier, playing in the later rounds. And on the left, we have Sneak and Show, Will Ready, making their debut on 90s MTG. Let me make 100% sure I got spelling right on Will's last name. Show notes were lost today. Let's hope I can find this. Turn 1 DRC for Roland. Just want to make sure I got Will's name correct. Yes, it is spelled correct. Okay, so Mishra's Bobble coming down.
Take a look at your...
And we see some pins on Will's side. Maybe some accolades being showed off.
Inferior, Volcanic Island. I don't think you'd ever
worry about it. We're here to play Magic. I just have way too much time on my hands.
Roland admitting to having too much time on his hands. Let's see what the turn 2 play is for Will.
Okay.
Does a brainstorm and resolves. I always like those Hararuya sleeves, the ones that Will is using. I always thought they looked cool. I've never owned them. Should I buy some of those? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know where to get them. Probably online. Andy says we need 90s MTG sleeves. I thought about it. PVDH vouching for the Hararuya sleeves. Very nice. Rebo did not like the quality. We'll have to check what Tellurian Community College has them rated for, right? There must be a rating. Someone go check the Tellurian report card. Ponder Surveil.
I mean, it looked like a great hand, but you got all the good stuff.
Putting a Force of Will into the graveyard tells me Roland already has plenty of interaction in hand. Force of Will, obviously a good card against against Sneak and Show. Maybe Sneak and Show player playing around Stifle with that fetch without casting anything. Just trying to make sure that Volcanic Island can't be disrupted, although now is exposed to Wasteland. So I don't know. Dave Kaplan, thank you for the gift sub. 66 gift subs on the channel for Dave Kaplan. Number 3 on our all-time gifters leaderboard. Thank you, Dave. There's Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal number 2. City of Traders. Sneak Attack.
Good response.
All right, response Brainstorm. Surveil puts a Steam Vents into the graveyard. Looks like it's being resolved like a ponder currently. Nope. Gets put into hand. Los Clavos says, hey, Chris, what's up? Greetings from Costa Rica. Hello from New York. Good to have you here. We do have some viewers in Costa Rica. Yeah, Steam Vents alert.
Force pitching.
Force of Will. Deciding what to pitch now is Roland. Let's see.
I was like, wait a minute, wait.
Pitching Brainstorm. And Sneak Attack will end up in the graveyard. Surveil off the Force of Will. Resolving now. All right, stays on top. Back to Roland now. And a fetch. Keong, thanks for the follow. Welcome. All right, here's a Ponder. Surveil puts a Misty Rainforest into the graveyard. Looks like 3 cards in hand currently for Will. Had a chance to chat with Will at the event. I think this is my first time meeting Will. I'm not sure. But Will plays some pre-modern and old school format, I believe he said as well. And the playmat with the pins is definitely some old school swag, I would say. And it looks like most of the deck appears to be old border so far as well.
Like in this neighborhood or in China? Wherever you are. Yep. Mercury or what?
I'll be on the play this game. To be fair, we used to play with power and rubber bands around deck throwing them.
Well, I'm taking time here. I'd be worried about more shenanigans from Will. We'll see. Looks like Will has a couple of lands in hand, actually. And an Emrakul. Doesn't look like an exciting hand for Will currently. It's like Emrakul, 2 lands, and a card that I'm not sure about.
How do you know? I can do this too, right?
What do you mean? Lay that on top of the search.
Anarchy Inducer with a great question. Chris, when are we doing Tribal Wars again? If I could get a Tribal Wars event to fire IRL, I think that's the best bet. Attacking for 3. So Game Storia, the game store that we're watching right now, has weekly Legacy on Monday evenings, and once per month on a Saturday, usually, there is a competitive REL event, which hovers around a 1K. based on the amount of registered players. Next one is on August 13th. I plan to be there covering some competitive RAL Legacy for all of you. And that will be mind-blowing entertainment.
Oh, yes.
People are going to be completely blown away by everything that goes on. Larry Legend, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Is it in Japan? There are a lot of Japanese cards on the table, but no, this is in New York City. Yeah, do it, Anarchy. Get the Tribal Wars games going. Let's put old school Brawl to rest, finally. All right, game one goes to Roland Chang. Well done.
I thought you were gonna play Delvers and like DRCs. All right, we're going that direction.
Larry Legend says, love Legacy, can't afford it, but love it, LOL. So we were talking about this earlier. There are a few high-tier, no reserve list decks in Legacy currently. 8-cast, Death and Taxes, Oops All Spells, and Burn were mentioned in our discussion earlier. So if you have paper Legacy events firing in your area and they don't allow proxies and whatever, you want to get started, or you want to travel and play in some Legacy events, those are a great place to start. Those archetypes. Rainbow Depths is another one. Thank you, Alexander. That's a good recommendation as well. I would say Elves and 8-rack are not on the cheaper side of the spectrum. Toe has been jamming white-black humans. Yeah, the humans decks also do not have any reserve list cards based on lists I've seen, other than maybe Peacekeeper, which is maybe below average for cost of a reserve list card. Los Clavos, thanks for the gift sub. Thank you, thank you. First gift sub on the channel for Los Clavos. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, so block. This is your take. Second main. Yep.
Here's a Dragon's Rage Channeler for Roland on turn 2. Legacy Council, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We're here watching some tabletop Legacy at Game Storia in New York City. We're in round 2 of the weekly. Brainstorm resolving here for Will. Rolling up a game. Looks like Roland has 5 or 6 cards in hand. I can't quite see. But likely has counter magic to help fight the combo. Whoops. Just bumped my mic. Also, we were discussing this earlier, and again, please don't take this as financial advice, anyone. But if you have some extra money to spend on Magic cards and you want to get into Legacy and your price range is, let's say, $500 that you would like to invest in Magic cards to help you move a little bit closer towards playing sanctioned tabletop Legacy. I know the cards are expensive, but a collector booster box is not what you should be buying. Dual lands is what you should be buying. And also, and I did not mention this earlier, there are some authenticated dual lands and reserve list cards now on eBay, I believe. And, of course, some vendors at Command Fests and some local game stores sell them as well. If you're not sure about authenticity, it can be tricky to buy those kinds of cards, reserve list, pricey cards. And as best as we can, I think we have plenty of people in our community who would be willing to help you, point you in the right direction. So feel free to post messages in our Discord server about that. I'll share the link to our Discord in the chat now in case anybody's not currently connected there. But that's the best advice I got. I don't really know what else to do about the fact that Legacy is expensive. Gorilla, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Here's show and tell.
Do these guys work the way we want them to? I think so. See, that would make 2 minutes. It's not forced to do that. I just like what you eat.
James? Surveil trick or what do you do? Done in the air.
Days on the stack, targeting this show and tell. Lotus Petal going to pay for it. Let's see what else Roland has. Force pitching Delver on the show and tell now. With Lotus Petal in the graveyard now. Let's see what Will has. Force pitching Brainstorm to protect and a fetch for Roland. Maybe your Power Blast in store for us.
Fire Blast? Surveil trigger.
And yes, if you have proxy events firing in your area, and that's something that you want to partake in, go do it. Play. For some reason, and I can't figure out why this is. I keep like it. People keep thinking that I hate proxies. I do not hate proxies. I just play in events that do not play proxies because that's what's going on at my LGS. If you have proxy events firing and your LGS is happy to host, do that. No judgment from me.
I mean, if you don't keep a land, I will continue.
Take 3, 14.
DRC getting in some damage. Will with 3 cards left in hand still, so we'll see if Will has more dangerous stuff that Roland will need to deal with. Murktide coming down, though, for Roland. If it's an 8/8, it can block Gristlebrand pretty well. Or a 7/7, obviously. All right, it's an 8/8 Murktide. That'll block pretty profitably against Gristlebrand's. At least as far as combat damage is concerned. All right, Pyroblast on Murktide. That's a start. And passing the turn is Will. We've had some great rounds on today's live stream. If you're just tuning in now, I definitely recommend rewinding back later and watching all the earlier rounds. Everything has been super entertaining, honestly. I'm not even making a joke. Mystic Sanctuary put Expressive on top. Here's a Brainstorm. Yeah, Sneak and Show is not at the top of the list for combo decks, I think, currently. Maybe someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Sneak and Show has been doing so hot in recent Legacy. I think I've seen it win any events. Okay, the Delver is getting cast here from Exile. Ponder now.
Activate to bounce this to my hand. Untap this.
You have to shuffle.
I will play this. Untap. Glimpse.
Yeah, having a lot of Pyroblasts around hurts. Brainstorm revealed on top. Flipping this Delver. Attacking for 6. Putting Will down to 5. Brainstorm. Surveil puts Polluted Delta in the graveyard.
Do you mind if I just shuffle it back?
Yeah. Too many triggers going on. I was trying to entertain.
Nothing I could have done either. Same thing.
I got a Brainstorm resolving.
I drew both. Like I drew when you after you posted, you immediately break out the second one. Like, sure, whatever. I drew 3 to both there because kept making
All right, rolling passing the turn. Likely has some defenses up. We'll have to see what Will has. This is the last turn, basically. Before DRC and Insectile Aberration will be able to attack for lethal. All right, got a sneak attack. Let's see if it resolves. It seems unlikely. His Daze returning Mystic Sanctuary, and it looks like that's a scoop. That's a scoop. Well done.